Welcome in. It is Friday. You're listening to The Morning Grind, KZI 88.7 FM. I'm Dapper D. We are right on the doorstep of the weekend. You feel it. I know you feel that energy. I'm excited. We'll talk a little bit about the weather through the weekend. I think you can tell by my tone. Not what we all expect, but I know with this busy life that we all have, there's going to be an opportunity for us to, I don't want to say Netflix and chill. I don't want to put any pressure on you. But I do want to say maybe you could stay inside and catch up on some programming that your busy, overscheduled life is throwing at you. So a little bit about the morning grind. We are here to entertain. We'll give you some news, some current events, and more importantly, we will be very interested in you calling in. You'll get some opportunities. 512-836-2887 is the number that you would call, and you'll be a part of the show. You will be live on air. Now you got to remember, you got to turn down your radio when it's time for you to come on the line. I'll remind you of that, but if we can get that out the way, just turn it down when you connect. You'll be able to hear yourself on the phone. So we're looking forward to getting your calls in today. So I got some questions. We're going to talk a little generational talk here. What are we doing, old heads? Is there a point where we can just realize that a new day is coming? Their day today is not your day. All things evolve. Change is inevitable. If you can tell me that you can stay in one frame of mind, in one place, in time, and you will be untouched by time and progress, I will tell you you're in a dream. There is no place. And you can call in. Go ahead and help me out. I don't claim to know it all. I don't need to know it all. But I am pretty sure change is inevitable. When I say that, when we talk a little generational, there is a guard that plays for Duke University. His name is Jared McCain. He signed an NIL deal. Mainly that just means like a licensing deal. He'll get paid to represent a company while he's in college. And the beauty brand for nail polish, beauty and nail polish brand, Sally Hansen. Okay, I know a lot of the old heads can be like, hey man, you can't do that. You can't do that. Well, I want you to explain to me why you can't do that for this young guy. I got it in your day, but you got to talk to me about today, not your day. What we got to understand is things are a little more fluid nowadays. There's not necessarily your mom's and your dad's gender roles. There's not necessarily your mom and dad's expectations on what you have to do. So for this young man, I'm a little curious. And should he have turned down the money? Should he have accepted the money? I'd be very interested in hearing you guys' opinion on that. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and Prince Harry have 2 Netflix shows in production. An upcoming Netflix series curated by Meghan will celebrate the joys of cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship. That's what Netflix put out. Okay. I can't say I'm going to watch it, but I think some of you may be interested. I am rooting for them, fighting against the tyranny of racism that the Crown has had for so long. Come on, man. You can't accept. Honestly, you can't accept. By now, you can't accept. Yo, it ain't a good look, Crown.
Tuned in to the morning grind with DJ Wiz in the mix on 88.7 FM KAZI.
Yeah, we back to the morning grind, KZI 88.7 FM. All the way to the left, we broadcasting live from Austin, Texas. Yeah, we're the capital city. I hope you've been to Texas. If you live in the continental United States and you have never been to Texas, please call me up at 512-836-2887. Don't worry, ain't nobody else listening. They gonna be listening. But I gotta know, why haven't you come? I gotta know. This is shocking to me if you've never been to Texas. The 3rd largest city in all of America is in Texas. That's Houston, if you didn't know. They took it from Chicago. You've heard of Dallas, and that hasn't been the draw. Maybe the Alamo, maybe that was the draw. Maybe you missed that draw. Yeah, I'm curious. I want to know. And then, of course, the outdoor concert capital is what we are called. So the live music capital. So yeah, if you guys never made it, maybe now you'll make it. And I don't think it's just off of what I just said, but maybe you're just realizing, yeah, you're not out here. You're not doing it right. If you're spending another weekend at home, back in Boston on the couch, come on, you got to go somewhere. The summer's coming. I'm not saying that's when you got to visit us, but it couldn't hurt. It could not hurt. You don't have to be out in the sun. You just have to be in the area, in the vicinity. We got air conditioning down here too, so don't get scared. It's all right. So yeah, we had some topics that we were very interested in hearing you guys' opinion on. That's 512-836-2887. Can't wait to hear it. All right. Creating a board game is more complicated than you may think. And I'm told that board games are changing. Again, another generational item. There is a new Monopoly out. It's different from the old Monopoly. Now, you got to ask yourself, why would they change it? Well, all things must change. You have to realize that there is a generation that grew up with a smartphone in their hand. They don't have to wait for things. They don't have to wait till they get home, get to the Britannica encyclopedia that their mama had and look something up, or maybe your cousin or your grandma, wherever you had to go to get it. You don't get to wait, take a note, and wait until you get to the public library to look something up. They got this smartphone in their hand. You don't have to wait. When you're waiting in line now, it doesn't matter. You could be in line for 20 minutes. I guarantee you don't notice that because that's 20 minutes of screen time. That's 20 minutes of scrolling, swiping left, swiping right, whatever it takes for you to enjoy that. I'm going to call it that downtime. You're not actively engaged. You're standing in the line. Yeah, it's different. The only problem people have with waiting in line using their phones is when they have the stress that their battery is about to die. Aside from that, no, they're good to go. So it's different. Old heads, you can still call in 512-836-2887, but I want you to be aware. Call in, be an aware caller. So you're talking to me, don't just give me, it was just better. No, that's not going to sell it. You're more than welcome to, but you'd be wasting a lot of your time on the air by telling me that part. I want to know, are you willing to accept change? Do you understand that it's different nowadays? And then what are you going to do to try to understand the generation that needs some of these changes? So those who are interested in sports, baseball has been a very long game. Dare I say, generational game. So to make it a little bit better for the different generations, they've sped the game up. Now the diehards, I know you diehards out there, you're going to say, oh, it's ruined. They've ruined the game. It's too fast now. Nope, it's not too fast. You're still getting 9 innings. You're still getting the greatest athletes to play the game out there. If they're making it go too fast because they're too good, that's the conversation. You still have 3 outs. What has changed? Oh, the fact that we can try to do some strategy changes, changing pitchers. You understand now, right? Yes. Hopefully. I am having a one-way conversation with the old heads, but I'm gonna believe that you understand that these changes are for the better. Oh, hey. Y'all know it was coming. And Beehive, don't get mad. But you know Taylor Swift dropped. Yep. There's a new thing. And she got Post Malone. Now, Post Malone did something on Beyonce's. Spoiler alert, if you didn't know. And now he did something with TikTok. I'm not here to talk about Taylor. I'm here to talk about Post Malone. This brother said, I am diversifying my portfolio. He wants to make sure he gets in with the two biggest artists out there. I don't think there's a man that's in there. I think it is all the ladies. And it's going to be Beyonce and Taylor Swift, in my opinion. Oh, we got a caller already. Caller, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's popping? How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Not bad. Thanks for asking. Not bad. Yeah. Hey, it's Friday morning, and I woke up, so I will not complain. What was on your mind though? What was it? A topic I brought up?
Well, it's all of it. So, you said you were having a one-way conversation with the old heads, and I'm 49 years old.
Hey.
And yeah. So, but I'm forever young. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? That's why you're forever young, because you feel it, you know it, you understand it. Yes, I like it. But what are your thoughts?
Sir.
What vein are you coming from?
So mainly 2 points. So I'm not speaking on behalf of the old heads or all old heads, because honestly, you talk about the generational thing. I could say calling someone older than you an old head is a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I'm not tripping off of that. You know what I mean? So the conversation kind of needs to start out on the right foot. But my point is, like, to tie that together, the foundation, I think, is what the old heads are trying to teach the young cats, because even all this technology is built on the same foundation.
Yep.
You know, so there's value in knowing how to go search for information, whether that's on the phone or in an encyclopedia or in a library, learning the Dewey Decimal System, even though it may be outdated, because you're learning how to organize, inventory.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of lessons you can learn from the fundamentals and the basics. And as far as the speed goes, you know, I've had a little bit of problem adjusting to that, because I'm all about quality. And I was told when I got laid off of the job, it's about quality and speed. And I was like, man, that's kind of harsh. You know, it was, you know, so that's the expectation. Like, it's like machine learning versus human learning.
Yeah.
Like, who can learn the fastest?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's still all about people.
Man, I like it. I like your 2 points. And I also appreciate that you called in today, because you were the first one. I didn't think I'd get anybody in before the 8 o'clock. We're going to be going to a break shortly. And, you know, on the other side, I thought I'd get some. So thanks for being awake. Thanks for being a listener. What's your name and where are you calling in from?
My name is Larry Johnson. I'm calling from South Austin.
Hey, thanks. LJ, Larry Johnson. Thanks for calling in, sir. And have a great rest of the day.
Yes, sir. You too. I appreciate all the work you're doing.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks. Love it.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you.
Love you.
Man, Larry brought it. And you know what? Larry has a point. Let's start with that there. Let's start with his first point. Larry said, you can't necessarily call people old heads. They may not like it. Because what did he say? Forever young? He don't want to be called old. He doesn't want to see himself as that. And then older population than a, let's just say, current generation. Make sure you're not leading with young bucks, youngin, millennial. You don't have to do that. Why you got to do that to them? Think about what Larry said. If you want to start this conversation at a fair common ground, you don't have to lead with a person's age or age identity. You don't have to do that. Thank you, Larry. Larry is dropping it. At 7:55 in the morning, Larry is quick as a whip. He was ready. Thank you for that. Here's the second part. He said that, whether we want to or not, sometimes we are forced to embrace that change. And then it's also about what the outlook is going to be for us. Is it going to be a positive outlook or not? Do we see that favorably or not? I hate the bad news that Larry gave us. He sounds like a sharp guy. I hate that he was laid off. No, don't get me started on that. we got some people that are doing some layoffs here locally, and in favor of AI. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. What can I say? I will be a old head or a person that doesn't want to change on that, because I think before you lay somebody off, you give them another job. You have another plan to get them another job in the organization or with another organization. You figure that out before you lay them off for that. See, that's awareness or lack of awareness. I think they should be focusing on their awareness that they missed the point. So that's what you think. The human deserves to be replaced by AI, and we can't do anything for the human to set them up. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not going to be laid off, but can we think about what we can do to help that person? Now, those are just some of my thoughts. It goes both ways. I've done hiring. I've done the firing. I'm going to tell you this. When you give us your 2-week notice that you're leaving, that ain't enough. That's not enough notice. To replace you, institutional knowledge, it's not enough. But you ready to bounce. Now, on the same thing, if we give you a 2-week notice that you're going to be fired, let go, that ain't enough time either. Larry Johnson back on the line with us. Larry, are you there? Larry, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you are. There you are. So what's up, Larry? You called back in.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you had mentioned, the 2-week notice kind of going both ways. And the way I look at that is, a lot of states are at-will states.
Yeah.
So you can technically be let go at will for any reason or no reason. And it's the same for the employer, or employee.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask, well, what's our obligation to the company? What's their obligation to us? The 2 weeks is a courtesy. It's the company's job to fulfill that position. Now I'm an independent contractor, an entrepreneur, but that's also because, you mentioned the royal family.
Yeah.
To me, what allows us individualism is the Magna Carta. The individual has power. We no longer have to worship a person as a god like the royal family. And all this current structure, this 40-hour work week, is built on Taylorism. And all this stuff goes all the way back. So a lot of times people feel pinched and enslaved, regardless of their color, regardless of their race, regardless of their gender. And it's Magna Carta in action. Everyone's able to express individual power, whether it's on YouTube or whatever. So it's really just focusing on the foundations and trying to manage the rate of change of information and the rate of disseminating that information to the people around you. But it starts, to me, with the foundations, because no one can still figure out how the Egyptian pyramids were built, and that was a long time ago. So they're old heads and got something figured out that we ain't got figured out.
Yeah. Larry,
that's all I wanted to say.
No, awesome, man. Awesome. I had no idea we were going to talk Taylorism or Magna Carta first thing in the morning, but you brought it, brother, because that's what it is. You make a point, you can bring some facts. That was awesome. Thanks for calling in, Larry. You're gold.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you. Man, I'm telling you, Larry's awake. Some of y'all won't paying attention in school, huh? Like, y'all, it's okay. Let me know if you didn't get any of the references that he gave. I'm going to tell you this, though. He's right. He's so right. He has brought up some points that I mean, honestly, okay, let's start. Let's start with the first thing. If you're not aware of the Magna Carta he mentioned, that's a document that guaranteed the English political liberties. And that was drafted from Runnymede. We're going all the way back to the 1215 is the Magna Carta. There's only two, by the way. One's at the British Library and one's in the Lincoln Castle. And so the purpose of that was for it to be a peace treaty. Yeah. But that was the first document to state that the king was not above the law. No, I'm going to get political, but some people here believe that even as a president, you could be above the law. So that document goes back to that. It also included rules for how justice would be dealt out across England too. Church rights, rules against false imprisonment. Yeah. But he brought it. I appreciate you, Larry. Man, that's awesome. That's what we want. We want you guys to call in, participate, be a part of the show. And he's an entrepreneur. So, he said he had an unfortunate setback, and I'm glad that he rose from that. And now he's an entrepreneur. I'm so envious of those that are entrepreneurs because they have the backing, they have the backbone to be able to step out and work for themselves. What else did he? He mentioned Taylorism. Now, for those who don't know, that's the science of dividing specific tasks to allow employees to compete. They're going to complete their assignments as efficiently as possible. So you get that. So think about Henry Ford and him being the first to have the assembly line. Does that help you? Does it help a little bit? This is the best I could. Listen, I'm not out there. I'm not going to be an instructor anytime soon. That would be scientific management. I think I'd have to teach. That's a theory of management where you would analyze and synthesize workflows. I am not an instructor of that. I am just a low gentleman named Dapper D trying to, and what did we say? We were going to entertain, educate. We're going to talk news. Yeah, we getting all that in today. So Larry took us there. That was awesome. Thanks, Larry. All right. I want to go to one other little point. 30 years. 30 years. What would you say if I told you, hey, you're going to jail for 30 years? You'd think, oh, I'm gonna miss out on a sizable part of my life, right? Well, here's what happened. That's how many years Ippei Muzahara. He was a former interpreter for baseball superstar Shohei Ohtani. For those who don't know, he's like the Babe Ruth of this generation, just because he can pitch and he can hit. So he could spend 30 years in prison after he allegedly stole more than $16 million from Ohtani's bank account. Again, he's a baseball superstar. Now, Mizahara, he faces a federal charge of bank fraud for making unauthorized transfers, largely to finance his voracious appetite for illegal sports betting. And that's a U.S. attorney in Los Angeles announcing that not too long ago. Okay. I come to a country. I'm not that good in the language. You have one job, bro. You're my interpreter. I need you to help me. Who did I pick? Why are you my interpreter? I didn't have any family. I didn't have a cousin. Somebody else. And I don't know why I needed to allow you access to my accounts. How about you interpret and tell me where I sign? We're going to get you to interpret, and then I'm going to get another person to interpret. I'm going to check and check. There was a famous rapper that said, I got lawyers checking lawyers. That's what you got to do. So, Shohei, if you got 16 million that you can get taken from you, that you don't really notice right off the bat, eesh. Yeah. Well, that interpreter said, and I'm not getting paid enough, and I deserve more, and it's coming from you. And he did that. Man, I'm really disappointed there. One other little thing I want to ask you guys about today. What would you say if you were one of those people that's in the friend zone? I got questions for you. 512-836-2887. If you're in the friend zone, is there anybody out there that's in the friend zone? How'd you get there? Do you want to be there? Very curious. I mean, I have never, would never. I live off of 3 rules. I won't go through all of them, but the third one is I always ask myself, what am I getting out of this? So let me get this straight. I got a crush on you. I'm into you. I desperately would love to be in a relationship with you, but you don't have those eyes. You are not interested in that with me. Why am I doing this? Huh? Oh, you're playing the long game? Maybe that's what you're saying. I'm playing the long game. In my case, I'm wearing her down. That's your plan. Okay. You can't get time back. I just want you to know that. You can't get your time back. The friend zone? No. So I got to deal with all of your warts, all the bad stuff. I got to deal with all of that as if I'm in a relationship with you. So that's when you're in the friend zone, you get all that. So you're telling me about your bad relationships and all the negative stuff there. Ish. I got other friends for that. I could offer to them and I can get stuff back too if I need to get something off my chest. But no thanks. But I want to know if you're in there. I want to know what that's like. I want to know, how'd you get there? And I want to know, did you want to be there? 512-836-2887. I got a question for you all. So we love to do our best to impress people, right? That's what we do. Maybe you're dating. Maybe you are networking. What do you say? What are the best jobs to have that when you're out there trying to date or meet somebody, this is the job that you want to be able to say that you do? What is that job? Let me break it to you. What are the best jobs to have that when you're out there trying to date and you meet somebody, this is the job that you want to be able to say that you do? I think most people start with doctor, lawyer. I'm going to say that's where they start. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. You got to call in. You got to help me. I want to get our listening audience, and it's just growing and growing. Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, if you are a longtime listener, call a friend and tell them kzifm.org, or they can go to the TuneIn app, share with a friend. We're community radio, and I know you're listening because you like us. I'm not even going to put the pressure on you if you've never donated. But think about this. You and your friend can listen in. Your friend might donate. Hey. Unless you're in the friend zone, but you're in the friend zone and you don't know their financial situation. Maybe you don't think that they can. You don't know. But they may be in a better financial situation than you know about, and they can donate. It's community radio. It's just a nonprofit. So we got to keep the lights on. And that's what you're going to help us with. So what if I'm meeting someone and what if I say I'm a butcher? I don't even know if anyone says it like that anymore. Hey girl, what's up? I'm a butcher. I don't know. I don't think it's got a ring to it. But can you get phone numbers after that? Like if I say, yo, I'm a butcher, I don't know if that worked. Are there any jobs that you say and then you can't get their phone number or IG after that, or their TikTok? Again, hey, what? Hey, I understand. There are some generations that went after phone numbers, some generations that do Facebook or IG, and then now we in TikTok. Just that's how you stay in contact. Hey, what's your TikTok? Yeah, we always are looking to impress people, and so that's where I'm going. I want to know from you. Caller, are you there?
Yes.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I am calling because what makes me put a person in a friend's zone is when I catch them in too many lies.
Ooh. Oh, wait.
And I like, okay, we ain't going no further than that. So
I got so many questions. Please don't try to run off this line. I got more questions. So are you saying you and that person would already be like technically in a relationship, whether it's got a label on it or not, but then you catch them in lies and it changes to friend zone? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Oh.
Right. We're working on trying to get somewhere,
Yeah.
see where we're gonna go with this. And when I catch them in too many lies, okay, well, we ain't going no further than that. We'll be a friend forever.
I'm not saying I've never lied in my life, but in the last 14 years in a relationship, I haven't had to lie. And that's because I picked right, and this person could see my warts, and it's okay, which is another reason why I've been with them for 14 years, because I could be myself for the good and for the bad. I just got to ask myself, why are we lying as adults? Maybe as kids.
Exactly.
I don't get it.
If you got to lie, if you have to lie and there's no reason to lie,
Yeah.
I just know you're a liar.
Yes.
So why would I want to put up with that?
Thank you.
Especially when you're lying for no reasons. Like, they don't even make sense. Why would you lie on that? It's
Yes.
like, I'm not going to waste my time like that.
Right.
You got me messed up. But I like to be I like for a guy to friend me, friend zone me.
Oh.
Because if I want them, it makes me want work. It makes me work to come out of that friend zone.
Oh, look at you. You're a hustler. She said, I want to grind for it.
Yes, and I know what to do to come out of that friend zone.
I didn't think about that. I like that. I like your thinking. Man. Well, okay.
Yes, because if they friend zone you, they want you around for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be around. And if you think you can go further than that, and if it's worth it, hey, do what you got to do. Work your jelly. And
Yes. Okay, you brought it today. Let me get your name and where you're calling in from.
Austin, Texas, and this is Penny.
Penny. That was fun. That was great. And you are spot on. Something I had never considered, because I'm a hustler and I love it when someone tells me what I can't do. And now I'm kind of sad. Maybe I should have been put in a friend zone so I could have hustled up out of there and fought back. Oh, yeah. Sometimes those are the things you cherish most that you got to fight for, right?
Yep.
Penny, you brought it today.
It's worth having. It's worth fighting for.
It is. Penny, boy, you done motivated some people up in here today. Thanks for calling in,
Right.
Penny.
You have a nice day.
You too.
All right.
Grind for it, people. Hustle for it. You know what? Forget what I told you. Listen to Penny. But hey, this is why I want y'all to call in. Help me. We all learning. We being educated. We learning. We're being entertained together. Because I know from my thinking is, how dare you, the audacity? Because I'm offended. I'm offended if you want to put me in a friend zone. I immediately realize your worth. And you immediately don't realize my worth is how I see it. That's how I see it. I'm not saying maybe I shouldn't see somebody about some therapy or something. Maybe that's a bad view. But Penny just gave me an amazing view that, okay, this where y'all put me? This where y'all put me? All right. And then you fight up out of there. Ugh. She said, don't, nobody puts Penny in a corner. Penny, I love you. That was great. See, these are the people here. This is why we do the show. This is why we here. We here for y'all. We want to hear from y'all. 512-836-2887. Look, I got some people all the way up in Washington State. I mean, I'm gonna have to zoom in on that one. That looked like Spokane. That's not even, they're not coastal. Wait, they may be on the other side of the range. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because that could be some Montana, Idaho. I'm gonna have to check that one. I see we got all up and down the eastern seaboard. Wake up, Florida. Where Florida at? I don't see no Florida, no Georgia. Look, if you got a cousin, you got some family, you got somebody down there, tell them, share. Let them know how we put it down here in Austin. And then it looks like Tornado Alley is with us. Man, look at all y'all. Tornado Alley, y'all with us. Okay, appreciate you. We going up Kansas, Iowa. Ugh, I like it. Oklahoma is listening to Texas. Appreciate that love, Oklahoma. Penny, that was great. Thank you for your insight. I think you all helped us with a little bit of that. I was a little curious. Do y'all think we're ever going to move to a 4-day work week? According to Front Office Sports, Steve Cohen, he's the New York Mets owner. He thinks that we eventually will move to a 4-day work week. What are your thoughts on that? 512-836-2887. What are your thoughts? Now, as a person, I've had remote jobs. I've had hybrid jobs. I have had other jobs. I've never worked a 4-day work week as planned, where I can say that was the plan. I've had work weeks where it's I got a 3-day coming up or a 4-day working up, and I know what it's like to kind of mush things together. I'll talk a little bit about that, but I want to hear from you. Caller, are you there? Caller, are you there?
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. I hope you're well.
Hey,
you're doing well.
I am doing well. Thank you.
Good.
Thanks.
I kind of think on that friend zone.
Yeah.
Okay, I love having a man to be my friend because they give you all the perks. They give you the game.
Yeah.
And, like if you're in a relationship, they'll say, well, okay, that guy right there, he's no good. Or that guy right there, he's good for you. They hip you to the game. So I think it's good to be in the friend zone when it comes to a female.
Hey,
I just wanted to say.
Wait, hold on. So I used to be a little player. I mean, I don't even know how else I'm gonna say it. I used to be a player, and I have said it. If you're a long time listener, I done dipped dipped into the game and I done pulled some gems out to help people forward. And I keep waiting for the player patrol to be waiting in the parking lot because I'm giving away too much game. But I like what you said there, though, because if we truly care about others, we hip them to the game. If you're keeping the rules, the secrets to the game, you keeping that close to the vest, do you really care about me? Because I'm out here trying to get it just like you, and you could be helping me with a lot of heartache. So see, that's another thing. Okay, so if someone puts me in the friend zone, wait, but hold on now. You're saying I should be okay with the fact that I'm not gonna get the opportunity to be in a relationship with you, but I should still keep you as a friend and help you out.
Yes, because when it comes to a man, the female can tell you, well, this is what you need to do to get the woman that's right for you.
Okay.
And only a friend would tell you the truth about that.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's a benefit. I see it. I can't say I would be in it. I can't say you threw me into wanting to be in the friend zone, but I understand you, and that's the beauty of it, right? Like, I gotta be, if you're arguing or if you're talking with someone about a point, you gotta be a good listener and at least try to understand where they're coming from. And I definitely get that, because to your point, I feel like I got a lot of ladies out there in the friend zone, mothers, grandmothers, aunties, and I'm trying to help y'all tell these young ladies, stay away from the game and
that's what it's about.
The pitfalls, the traps, because it was a little too easy for me, so I'm trying to help. Hey, what's your name? We're gonna be going to a break here shortly. What's your name and where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Cedar Park, and my name is Margaret.
Hey, Margaret, that means are you getting us on terrestrial radio 88.7 or you're streaming it?
No, I'm on 88.7.
Oh,
right now, my car coming from my work.
You sound like you got a Bentley or something. How you getting us all the way out there in Cedar Park? I appreciate it. Thanks for calling. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah. She got one of them trucker antennas on top of her Bentley. We're gonna go to a break here shortly here. I thought we had we got a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, maybe I overlooked something. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, for those who are in the know, it depends on where you're at. There are certain places where you're going to have a chance to get us on terrestrial radio, and you may have to stream with the TuneIn app, or whatever smart device you have. We just want you to have the opportunity. Wow, that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Mz Marlah, you interested in that reggae fest? You trying to get to it?
Big time, just as long as it doesn't rain on me.
Oh, yeah. I hate that. I hate that part. What, Mz Marlah, how do you of all people not have a ray gun that can affect the weather? Because you put on events, like you be doing things. Can you like do a non-rain dance or something?
I have been doing the rain dances to bring the rain on because, we've been kind of dry.
Yeah.
And so I can't undo the dance we did.
Yeah. So you had us. You had us hooked up, and then we
like
yeah, that's funny. I never really thought about that. I never really thought about the opportunity to get rain when you want it, and then you realize, I don't really need this right now.
Like, oops, did I need it for that day? But, you can't. That's the thing. You can't like pick your day.
Yeah.
Or when you need it, you just can't get it.
No, you're right about that. So what's the week been like for you?
Well, the week has been wonderful. It's just all the information sometimes is a little overwhelming for my brain.
Yeah.
And what we doing? So, like we had talked about in the past about that whole DEI and how the University of Texas is start giving out the slips about, hey, you're going to lose your job because of the anti-DEI law. And so I was actually part of a program last weekend where I sat as a judge of high schoolers doing their poetry. And so this is a program with the NAACP. They do every year, which is high school kids ASCO. So they could be they can be essay writers, maybe performing artists, poets, like I said, visual artists. So now this program just might get cut or may not have any funding for next year because it was part of the DEI community engagement. It sponsored that program. So, when you start thinking it's not just maybe a teacher or a professor that's losing their job, but the different things that are connected with that, that makes life a little different because we don't want diversity, inclusive, we don't want equality, So I'm not getting that. So, my brain's been tripping, but then I come across another issue where it's just the opposite. A federal complaint has been filed against North Central University in Minneapolis, Minnesota, alleging that its George Floyd Memorial Scholarship violates the Civil Rights Act by discriminating against non-black students.
Oh.
So the Legal Insurrection Foundation, a conservative nonprofit focused on free expression and academic freedom, submitted the complaint on Monday to the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights. So you have white students that are saying that this is discriminating against them because to qualify for the scholarship, you have to be a student who is black or African American.
Yeah.
Or a person has to have origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa, according to the university's guidelines. So, the plaintiff argues that by automatically disqualifying students who don't meet this racial prerequisite, the scholarship runs afoul to the Title VI of the 1964 Civil Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, and national origin in programs and activities receiving federal financial assistance. Wow. Discrimination against white applicants is just unlawful as discrimination against black or other non-white applicants. That's what the complaint authors stated. Civil rights attorney, Marbino, and Cornell University law professor William Jacobson. Mm-hmm. Regardless of NCU's reason for responding and promoting the GFMS scholarship, George Floyd, it is violating Title VI by doing so. Mm-hmm. So it just tickled me. It tickled me that I would read that article. Thank you, SoulCity.com, SoulCiti.com. When you want to find out anything and everything black that's going on in Austin, Texas. And so that was one of the news articles. I didn't want to finish it because that alone just tripped me out. I'm like,
they got your blood pressure up. You messing with your sleep. It's just rambling around in your head, huh?
I'm like, what? So it's just a trip of how things are, So what is it? Not going on there? We don't have an anti-DEI law there, right?
Yeah.
But we have it here, I guess. I'm not quite for sure. But it was just so funny because what are the students here are going to do? It's not like, because really, when you look at it, the university right now could just start accepting only white students if they wanted to, right?
Oh.
They wouldn't have to they wouldn't have to deal with the program and accept everybody coming in because of the anti-DEI law that's right here in Texas. So, I'm kind of confused about all of that. We can't go through and say they're not going to allow us to come in anymore because they don't have those type of programs. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I've worked at institutions of higher learning, and I've worked with the admissions department at every single one. Some were private schools, some were state schools, some were historically black schools. And what I have seen, yes, it is very easy. That's why I want to say this into these airwaves. I'm not going to say, we don't need to talk about the reasons, but it is very easy for you to just say, oh, I only want people that have these academic criteria, that you have an SAT score of 1400 or higher, a GPA of 4.0 or higher, that you are in a National Honor Society. And when you start to do those things, it is very easy to take others out. Ms. Marlah, I know of people that have come from backgrounds where academia was not pushed. Their parents barely, if they did, barely finished high school. So they know nothing about college prep, how to send their kids to the university. So of course they think, oh, I'm sending you to school. You'll get everything you need at school. You'll be good. And that'll give you an opportunity unlike I had. The problem with that, Ms. Marlah, is the moms, the dads in those situations don't know that you have to start doing college, those tests, those entrance tests. You need to start prepping. And unfortunately, those also cost money. So some families can't afford them. Some parents don't really realize, well, there are free books in the library, so I could take my kid to the library and they could study up and get ready for the SAT. But a lot of those parents don't know it. And how do I know that? Because I done met them on the back end, and then they're saying, hey, how come we didn't qualify for academic scholarship? How come we didn't get this? I'm like, because your score, your baby got accepted to such and such school with a 900 SAT, which is not good on a scale of 1600. They're in, but they don't qualify for nothing else. And if they just could have scored another 20 points on SAT, how many times did they take it? Mama says, oh, well, you took it once. That's it? Okay, how much studying did you do? Oh, no, I didn't tell them because you didn't know. And very easily, you can look down the line, and based on demographics, socioeconomic backgrounds, it's very easy to just start to separate or trit, if you will, those that are gain acceptance into these institutions of higher learning and those that will stay out and have to go to other places. It's very easy to do.
Okay. I understand, but you know what? It's still all bull. Because there was a time when it was against the law to educate blacks.
Oh.
In America. It was against the law for them to for us to learn how to read. We had to teach each other.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of being in those churches. It wasn't, we was sitting up there, honoring one of their false gods they tried to push upon us. We were busy trying to teach each other, to empower each other, and to educate each other.
Yeah.
So then you get to a time where this country owes us. And you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, my kids shouldn't even have to pay for college, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Forget
about who is not or who isn't prepared. Some of our people might be not prepared because they come from generations where you were told you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not educated enough, we're not even going to allow you into our school. So, it's like a whole mental turnaround. But thank God, for black institutes, you know what I'm saying, for HBCUs, you know what I'm saying, thank God for those institutions, because at least somebody is going to cater to my children and understand that they can be accepted. They wouldn't have to go through it, because, I think about one of the poets that was there this past weekend had an awesome poem she wrote. She was from Congo, and her poetry was so prolific and descriptive. It was beautiful. And she talked about the horrors of being over there. She felt guilty because she was over here in this country and she had a better chance at life, and how the war and what she called it, their blessings from the gold and minerals that naturally come from there is now causing death and horror. You know what I'm saying? And so I asked her questions like, what are you going to do? She's a senior in high school. And so she said she thinks she wants to go into nursing. She said she didn't know about doing the poetry, as a career, because she would have to write all the time. I kind of explained to her like how Maya Angelou didn't just sit down and write poems. She was an advocate for civil rights, having lunch with Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? She did so much more than just a poet. But then she started telling me about the different colleges that she was already applying for. And some of them really sounded like, well, some of them were Ivy League schools. And I didn't want to just bust in, you haven't checked out any HBCUs, but then I realized her sponsorship over here might not be from an African-American input, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to tell her, honey, that because even those Ivy League schools that you are checking into were still built by slave owners, people who own slaves. This comes from the same mentality of what they're doing, the atrocity they're doing to your people in Congo now, just so they can teach their poor white boys how to, their dumb white boys how to get educated. That's how those Ivy League schools got started. And I didn't want to push her away from it because I didn't want to just go and crumple that little dream and try to tell her to go elsewhere. It wasn't my job to do. But it would have my brain aching. It was like, oh, my God. Because she's just so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And then oh, my God, her writing was prolific. I'm still trying to get permission to actually read it over the air. I just don't want to do that to her. Because she said she still has a bit of an accent, so she feels a little self-conscious reading some of the English, and saying it correctly. But, yeah, I was like, oh, that whole DEI bullcrap, anti-DEI, whatever. And just to think that now the NAACP, that acts so, and they send these kids, whoever make it first place, they go to national. So she gets to go to a paid trip to Vegas and compete against national.
Oh.
So now we have these organizations that now have to regroup and go out and get other funding from other places because UT was one of their main sponsors helping the children. And now because of the anti-DEI law, they don't do that anymore. They don't have to. All of those community engagement programs are cut. So it just tickles me, because on the other side of the country, we have non-African Americans saying, hey, you got stuff just for black. This scholarship is just for black. And that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? I understand the cry, but you know what? I'm crying over here in Texas.
I always wondered about fragility in that we ignore history. When I have conversations with people, I'm always curious on if we are going to acknowledge history, just to start there. And I'm not talking about, I'm not trying to offer anyone guilt. I feel like that's very heavy. Exactly. That's the first place where you go is they say guilt, but that's just your reaction. I'm not saying you have to have that reaction. I'm sorry that you have that reaction, but let's just talk about the history. Historically, to your point, I remember when I was doing some military training, we have to pass one of the items to commission as an officer in the Army through ROTC is you have to be able to pass combat water survival training, and they bring you to a pool. And when you walk in, they say, all right, if you're a swimmer, go to the left. If you're not, go to the right. And when I walked in and I went to the left because I was a swimmer. And I also went to a predominantly white institution where we worked at our swimming. But there are people from around the nation. There's 275 other host institutions, 1,000 schools overall. And at those other 999 schools, they didn't all do that. And I looked over on the other side of the pool and I saw over there, everybody looked like me. There might have been one person like me over on that side of the swimmers. And then everybody was over there. All the people that I would have had so much in common with were on that side of the pool. And that just reminds me to what you started this conversation off with saying is, see, that's when you're burying your head in the sand when you don't realize that there were inequities, historical inequities that have led to a long line. To what I was saying, I said that there were a lot of parents that maybe didn't have a high school diploma or high school degree. There are some people that were saying, I'm the first in my family to graduate high school, so it's a big deal to them. And that's because their parents and grandparents and stuff didn't have a lot of the opportunities. They had to work. And so now I'm thinking the same thing. How many of these people in here didn't have the opportunity to swim because their parents didn't know how to swim? And it's a scary thing to take your baby girl, baby boy to the pool and just throw them in and say, hey, figure it out because I can't help you. This is before the YouTube generation too, right? So how do you get your kid to learn how to swim? Oh, I got to pay for lessons. Mz Marlah, you know how much it costs to get swim lessons here in Austin, Texas? As a dad with 3 kids?
Well, there has been free programs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's been free programs for the children. And in my opinion, something like that needs to be incorporated into the education system.
Agreed.
When I went to school in Chicago, we had a pool at our high school, fortunately enough. And so swimming was part of gym.
That's nice.
Yeah. they even had one class was for us to bring an extra set of clothing to put on, and then we had to jump in the pool. Because you got to realize I went to school and, just a half a mile down was Lake Michigan. And so in there might be little inner ponds in the parks where kids will go and ice skate, where we ice skate. Yes, black folks ice skate, just like we ski. And so, what they wanted to teach us by putting these clothes on and jumping in the pool, in case somebody slipped through the ice, they were training us how to tread water with the heavy clothes on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then I understood, So yeah, I guess that's why sometimes it would bother me about even black folks don't swim. It's like, okay, I'm gonna need you guys to cut those stereotypes out because you might have a whole slew of people that don't swim, and it's not just because they're black, or we don't get on no boats. We done came over here. Yeah. That's a lie. I know the Black Yacht Club. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And so you're right. Certain things need to be a part of the education. When my daughter was in school here in Austin, oh my gosh, when I moved to the Pflugerville area, I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to take her to a pool because the school didn't have it. So it was an outside pool belonging to the park district. At 5 o'clock in the morning was swim meet. You know what I'm saying? But as a parent, you got to do what you got to do. I cuss while I'm driving in my pajamas to get her there. But she was a little minnow, what I'm saying? My kids were like little tadpoles in that pool, they were gone, they were great. But then you hear about all the different drownings that happen, and a lot of times when I would hear it on the news, they were non-black people. A whole family one time because of the area they were swimming in.
Yeah.
And so even my old co-host, Dora, God's Gift, she wanted to teach people. She wanted to give free lessons just to help and gather the kids and teach them how to swim, And so, yeah, I understand. I understand how, different cultural stereotypes happen, but then I know how, sometimes stereotypes are just the ignorant stereotype.
Yeah, yes.
And so, yeah, everybody may not have that chance, but we live in a different world. You talking about pre-YouTube. Oh, my God, now, come on now. I can see if you pre-civil rights, where your mom is probably cleaning up in somebody's kitchen.
Yep.
Your dad, probably got to work his to the bone, so everybody's trying to survive working for everybody else because they can't just get those, Thank God for the people who were able to make it out. The first, blacks getting their educated, opening their own businesses until they were burnt down. I mean, what I'm saying? We just, you're right. It's like some of our past, we still have to fight even in 2024. It just looks a little different, because we're in a new digital world. Thank God I saw children that were all into the STEM. You know what I'm saying? They know how to code. People are teaching them that, I thank God for the different programs that are educating our kids that are they're probably a little bit more advanced than we are because they're learning all of this, these new things, but we still got to stay on top of all of this, especially, with children that are not just, especially for our children that are melanated, the black and the brown, our Asian brothers and sisters. Think about the natives, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my goodness. So us majority now have to fight at the minority. here in Texas due to the anti-DEI law. Oh, my God. Not so inclusive, if you ask me.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends that are pretty diverse, and I like that because, one, they're trying to make sure that they step outside of their comfort zone. And so I try not to alienate them. I take on the task of translating, if you will, and because I want them to understand. And without I know the phrase is mansplaining, but I'm gonna make a phrase without blacksplaining. I don't want to go on a diatribe, but I want them to kind of get the background of things, just so you understand. Hey, so you understand this is why, or this is what they're saying here. And but what I like is that there are great opportunities to learn about each other out there, and then these people that step outside of their comfort zone can now go back to their comfort zone, and then they can say, hey, I bear witness, this is what I saw, these are things I learned, and then maybe it could spread like wildfire. That's the way I see it. That's the best thing I can tell you. That's another reason why I don't surround myself with everybody that has the same opinion, same background, same upbringing as me. Right. Because, well, one, the world isn't always, it's not like that. But exactly. It keeps me sharp as well. But yeah, you also have to find people that seek to understand and seek to learn about others. Yeah.
Well, thank God we're here, and we can teach everybody about each other.
Yeah.
Each one teach one. That's why I love the whole entity and platform of KAZI, that we can talk about these issues, we can deal with these issues, because we have all kind of listeners that are listening, because, I'm sorry, we want to include the world. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to push non-melanated away. You know what I'm saying? They are our family also. But we do have to wake up our people, about each other, about the culture, about how we can go to a better future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How we can, that our children are the leaders. But we don't, oh, my God, we don't want to have them getting set back. We don't want them thinking that, because I'm black, I won't be able to do this, and there's no programs out there for me, because I'm not white. Because, when that whole anti-DEI law came about and the university started doing, you had melanated kids that felt outed. They even responded in some of the news. They like, wait a minute, you mean, where's the professors and, the people in those different programs that were helping us? They felt outed. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just, like, no one sees them. No one sees our melanated children. And so to hear that and kind of hit my heart a little bit, like, ouch. And they weren't just African-American children who were feeling this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So,
no.
You're right.
There are people that are at universities, colleges, to learn, to learn about the world.
Exactly.
University, the root word is universal, and they out there trying to get it, trying to gain something. If you haven't looked at the demographics of the school that you're going to, then I don't know who you are. But I think most people are aware that they're going to get a diverse population, and again, there are places you can go where it's not going to be diverse. I told you I've been at 5 institutions of higher learning, and I know for a fact there are some schools that I have gone to that fell under my main school, and I was like, wow, there's not much diversity here at all. My gosh. This is, I mean, if you want to be surrounded and insulated, mission accomplished. You don't have to black splain, Hispanic splain, Latino splain. Right. You don't have to do anything else. And nothing wrong with that if you went there for a reason. But there are people that understand, I'm supposed to learn some stuff. I'm supposed to gain some awareness. I want to participate. I was explaining to a young man the other day about I joined a historically black fraternity, and he was curious because he was like, "Why would you do that?" And I said to him, I explained to him the reasons, but one of the biggest things he said is, I really like that. And I wish that I would have the opportunity to join that. And I was like, well, why wouldn't you? He thought that a historically black fraternity or sorority would not want him to be a part of it because he's non-melanated. Now just think about that. So I explained to him, in my fraternity, it's in our constitution that it doesn't matter your race, creed, it doesn't matter any of that. And he's like, okay. And then I might have pulled out the phone and showed him some of my fraternity brothers that look like him, just to help the young man realize that, hey, I can put my money where my mouth is, that I have the variety. Now, it is a shared brotherhood. And if you come to something and you're uncomfortable, if you're uncomfortable with learning, if you're uncomfortable with being around, or to be a minority in a group, if that makes you uncomfortable, then it ain't built for you. I guess not. I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly.
I don't know the numbers. I'm going to say 85, 90% of us are black. That's a guess. I could be off because I feel like, you know what? It's probably got to be lower because we got a lot of Latinos. I got some Asian brothers. Anyway, the majority of us are black or African American, or whichever you go with. And so, but that young man learned, and I felt like I got through to him, and he got it. And he's like, that would be kind of stupid for you guys to say, oh, we only want you if you look a certain way. And I liked having that conversation. He was a college age young man.
Kind of like what Harvard is going through now.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
I think we can do a whole show on Harvard.
Disproportionately favoring white applicants and systematically disadvantaged students of color, including Black, Latinx, and Asian Americans. But that's another show. We got to go to break. I think we got an interview coming up.
Yeah.
Man, let's do it.
You're listening to The Morning Grind. We want to thank everyone for listening in. This is the great opportunity that we have. And Mz Marlah, myself, Dapper D, we enjoy it. This ain't hard for us. We enjoy talking with you guys. We enjoy helping you guys. This is, Mz Marlah, would you say this is one of the highlights? I know you do programming during the week, but would you say this is one of the highlights of your week?
Oh, big time. Oh, yes.
Okay. I mean, I know it is. I know it is for me.
Oh, big time.
I get pretty excited, and then I also like when I come across people and they're new to KZI.
Yeah.
New to KZI programming, and the light goes on. They're like, oh, I get it. I like it. All right. I'm gonna get this to play through. Thanks, Mz Marlah. FM broadcasting live from Austin, Texas. It is 9:03, and we are right back at it. 512-836-2887. We do have we're gonna have an interview here shortly, but until that time comes, I can hear from you. You're going to be at 512-836-2887. We're going to give you guys a little bit of music here. We have a young man. Now, of course, right when we play the music, that's when I get someone to call in. So give me 1 second here. And
black versus white, now it's wrong versus right, now it's dark versus light. You see in my hometown a lot of racism bred, fist fights, then a knife, and now a brother is dead. Wait, what you don't understand, you should have heard what he said. His body hit the green turf, that's how they painted it red. News 6 interviewing Ben, trying to get his thoughts. Nooses, Confederate flags, had to play a part. Ben said we shouldn't be divided in the ways we are, reflecting on the fight in his head. It's really our fault, as you can imagine. Ben's peers didn't like that. I bet that linebacker wish he could have took that line back. Now it's death threats, so he feeling more intimidated, but not from the other side of town. They appreciate it. Yeah, this is how it goes in my hometown. Yeah, this is how it goes in my hometown. Yeah, this is how it goes in my hometown. the field, and this feels like the fight of your life. You got fans in the stands. Now it's black versus white. Now it's wrong versus right. Now it's dark versus light. You see in my hometown a lot of racism bred. Fist fights, then a knife, and now my brother is dead. Wait, but you don't understand. You should have heard what we said. Black body, green turf, that's how they painted it red. New 6, interview him, cause we don't get those. Nooses and Confederate flags, we play against those. Now we understand that racism, it has to be taught. But if they perpetuate the hate, it's really their fault. A boy named Devin Calloway also had to rant. Heard what Ben said on the news, that was the olive branch. He can see that white boy Ben was trying to bring the peace. Now they work together just to show you how the world should be. This is how it goes in my hometown. Yeah, this is how it goes in my hometown. Yeah, this is how it goes in my hometown. Yeah, this is how it goes, and I don't wanna fight no more. Yeah, this is how it goes in my hometown. Yeah, this is how it goes, and I don't wanna fight no more. So I know it gets hard to make those tough decisions. But you gotta stand for someone, you're gonna fall for anything.
That was Virginia Q. Virginia Q, and the song is Hometown. I like it. All right, we are back live, KZI 88.7 FM, listening to The Morning Grind. Man, my headphones are really loud. Yours too? Yeah. Okay, we cut that down there. All right, so we're going to talk a little Earth Day ATX 2024. Let's do a mic check. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning.
Oh, there we are.
I'm doing great.
I hear you. I believe they're going to be able to hear you. So let's talk. I'm Dapper D, and you are
Janice Bookout. Nice to meet you.
Janice Bookout. What a name.
It is mine.
What's the last book that you read?
Now, see, now put me on the spot.
I know. With the name, it just seems like it would be.
Honestly, I think it was Between the World and Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
It seems like that last name would put too much pressure on you.
I do a lot of writing.
Oh, so she's right out.
Yeah, I should be. Yeah, right out.
That's great. So let's talk. We were going to talk Earth Day ATX 2024. And there was a schedule change. We're talking reschedule?
Yes. As of yesterday,
okay.
We are rescheduling from this Saturday to next Saturday, April 27th. It'll be from noon to 5 p.m. at Houston Tillotson University campus. We've been there now since 2017. I just love it. Just real exciting. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here today to talk about it and also to make sure people know it's rescheduled.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you're here. So Earth Day Austin, so the mission is reinventing sustainability as an unprecedented cultural phenomenon with equity at the center.
Yes.
What?
We want to put equity at the center of the environmental movement. So, yeah, we, I just wrote this morning, actually, our definition of sustainability.
Oh.
So we're defining, Earth Day Austin defines sustainability as the wholeness and completeness of our natural and social ecosystems in which all life, all people can thrive and balance with each other. And we believe that we cannot have that without putting equity and justice at the center.
How many events like this have happened?
What do you mean? A reschedule or the festival?
The festival. How long?
Well, Earth Day itself has been around since 1970. It's
yes.
As a global phenomenon every year since. Mm-hmm. And we did have one in 1970 in Austin. So now I actually don't know. And in fact, for the 55th anniversary next year, I want to do a history project on the history of the festival and the events that have happened here. It started at UT with a rally, a really intersectional rally. It was inspired globally by the view of Earth from space.
Yeah.
And it just kind of woke people up to that we are a fragile, we're in a fragile state in the universe, and life is precious and we need to protect it. And over time, it's evolved into a festival, which honestly, sometimes I have mixed feelings about. For a while, how I felt about Earth Day festivals was that, here's what I don't want to do. What I'm not interested in is putting on a big, shiny festival for people to consume.
Mm-hmm.
What I want is to have an event where people can come and be together and experience each other and the valuable resource that we are for each other, and engage in conversations and in activities about sustainability that are meaningful to them. So this is all local. It's all about what's happening here in Austin, and it's a really great vibe.
So I would say here in Austin, we have a good demographic. I think here in Central Texas, we have the people that are interested in Earth Day. Would you say that this is the preeminent event? I know I saw that historically Earth Day ATX has been the largest sustainability event in Central Texas. Can we claim the whole state? Or are they beating us in Dallas or Houston?
Oh, that's interesting. No, I mean, and it's really not about, it's not about the size of the event. In my mind, it's about the quality.
Yeah.
So, I know South by Southwest, for example, gets real big.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I'm not really, maybe we'll get bigger and bigger and bigger. We've been as big as 10,000. We've come back from the pandemic to about 3,000 last year.
Yeah.
But I'm not really as interested in can we grow it? Can we grow it? What I want is that the people who come to restore themselves to what matters to them, mm-hmm. and that they walk away making a difference. And if we have 3,000 people walking away like that, having really experienced something, to me, that's way better than consuming a shiny festival.
Yeah. I wanted to spread like wildfire. So yeah, I was chasing, I subscribe to population theory, but I was chasing the big numbers so that it could spread throughout Central Texas, the Austin area. But this is a great opportunity to learn about conservation and sustainability. I hope that the sustainable solutions, I hope we can get the right people that will come and then share what they gained throughout. So it's going to be over at Houston Tillotson University.
Yes, Houston Tillotson University.
Right there on campus.
Yep, they are the premier sponsor of the festival this year, and also the host. They've been the host for many years now. We just really love the campus and
mm-hmm.
love being there. And I will say, to what you said earlier, I would say who shows up are the right people.
Yeah.
So, it's for families, it's for everyone, mm-hmm. it's for young people, old people, it's for all of us. So, and it's designed that way, that the whole festival is designed to be as inclusive and representative as possible. So from everything from exhibitors to the way that we sell to the music to the events, it's all designed so that anybody that comes to the festival can feel at home and like they can fully participate. So there is for example, you can bring your own T-shirt and get it printed, or we'll have a T-shirt for you potentially, and get that printed on site, in a reuse and up what is it called, upcycled kind of way.
Yeah.
And we have all kinds of things, though. As something for everybody, really. We have face painting and walkabout puppets that tell a climate story in an interactive way that you can discover. We have some amazing musicians playing that day. We have Great Promise for American Indians doing a powwow.
Ooh.
We open up the event with a beautiful tradition. It's a blessing offered by Susana Almanza and Daniel Llanes, and then Daniel Llanes opens the festival with music. We'll have an amazing children's section led by Austin Area Urban League. There's so much to talk. Well, one of the things I'm really excited about too is we'll have the AISD electric school bus, which is an interest in a panel to talk about electric vehicles and their impact on health.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
Yeah, it sounds that way, and really looking forward to the turnout. I hope our listeners understand, bring your family, bring your friends. She's not chasing the numbers. I am. I want you to bring and tell everybody. Post about it. And let's get as many festival attendees as possible, because you're going to get a chance. Their goal is they want you to explore rich, in-depth programming, exciting new activities, and engage in those exhibitions that she mentioned also. And then you can discover new connections to the environment and environmental issues. That's the key. So I saw on you guys' site, on the board, you guys have a good amount of people there. You had a couple doctors. You're the executive director. That sounds like you're the boss. So
it's a team for sure. I mean, one of the things that I love about putting the festival together is that we have so many program partners.
Yeah.
That come together to put the festival together. It's it's definitely, we have a very small budget and a small official staff, but we have an enormous network of folks that care about this event and what it means, and we couldn't do it without them. So it's it's really, I'm humbled to work with everyone on this amazing event, and it's really become, I think. It's really become the demonstration of our mission, and over the last few years, I did the organization itself. Earth Day Austin is new as of 2018. We took over from the previous organization, and that's when we rebuilt the mission and really refocused on this mission and this vision of what's possible for Austin. So, and I'm deeply grateful for everyone who's been part of making that happen.
Yeah, I was going to play the bad guy and say, as the boss, and my words, I don't want anybody else on the board to get mad, but as the boss, are you still able to entertain any new sponsors or any exhibitors? Can they still sign up?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. In fact, we have a few folks that can't reschedule, so we do have plenty of openings actually, and we have plenty of room on the campus to fit a bunch of exhibitors. And I want to say something about that too.
Okay.
We have a sliding scale approach to our exhibitors. I probably even shouldn't say this on the radio, but I might as well. If you are a business and you see that business rate, and you are a small business, especially if you're a small business that's struggling, you can have it at the nonprofit rate. And am I allowed to say that am I allowed to talk about that?
We didn't say exact prices. So,
okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I'm being responsible for your rules. And the same is true for grassroots organizations that really just can't do the nonprofit rate. Just talk to me. And we'll work it out, because I want everybody represented, everybody included. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Definitely interested in new sponsors. In fact, one of my, I just want to, in addition to thanking Houston Tillotson University, I do also want to thank Cap Metro for everything they provided. They'll be on site and a part of the panel too, talking about the electrification of their fleet and the difference that makes. And then, and also Deep Eddy is a new sponsor this year, which I am really grateful for. They're a special crew, man. Deep Eddy Vodka is a real special. They do a lot of really interesting work. I discovered as we talked about it. So more to come there. And then, and another, an exciting thing I think this year that we've got, we've arranged for the mayoral candidates, the 4 mayoral candidates, to do short personal interviews.
Wow.
So, and this, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. So, we designed a series of questions. We actually were gonna do it through Dr. Miles, was going to be the one that facilitated. I'm actually in the process of booking somebody new because she can't be there next weekend. Anyway, but we will have all 4 mayoral candidates giving short personal interviews, and they'll be real neat, real short interviews, but really meaningful questions about who they are, not about their opinion, not about their position, not designed to kind of give the flash, but instead designed to kind of uncover who are you as a person? What do you care about? And maybe what keeps you up at night, or what's your favorite baby animal?
Yeah. any amount of access to mayoral candidates is only a win for us. You can catch them. I mean, you want to catch them. I'm going to say outside of their comfort zone, because we want to see all faces. We want to see all sides of them, and so there are faces that we'll all have at fundraisers, and then there's also events like this where you'll get a chance. And to this point, if it's not 10,000 people, you could have a chance to have maybe even a one-on-one. There may be some opportunities, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, and to that point, there may be one or two that have, because of the reschedule, there may be one or two that we have to do a pre-recording of. I don't know for sure, but I'm in the process of rescheduling them all. But I am super excited about it because, I do feel like, we get to see the facade a lot on the campaign trail.
Yes.
I want to know who you really are.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know, where are you coming from with my city and with my community, and this community of communities that we are in Austin, and where are you going to take us, and can we trust you?
Yeah. So it looks like getting to the event, it's Earth Day. So I'm going to say the preferred, my opinion, people, but my preferred that day is if you could bike to the event. And there are biking meetups. And Jump has kindly provided bike racks around the HT
That's
campus.
out of date. That's out of date.
But
the red line will be running, and there's lots of ways to get to the campus by bus, by red line. We'll have all those details updated on the website.
Okay. Yeah, I still would like for them to jump on a bike, get over.
I would love to see some more meetups created. That's all in flux right now, but I'd love to see some meetups wheel onto campus. And we will have bike racks for folks to park their bike. Mm-hmm. And that's a wonderful mode of transportation.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you're going to an Earth Day event, if you can do something, if you can carpool,
yes.
if you could ride share, whatever you could do. Those would be great opportunities. So for kids, you guys intended to have a kids zone.
We do. Yeah, we will have a kids zone.
And I like that. It says a butterfly walkthrough, hands-on crafts, giant games, parachute play, bouncy houses, face painting, and other participatory games.
Yeah,
we got to bring the kids.
We do got to bring the kids. Well, I will say, I am super excited about all that programming. I like I said, some of all of it is getting rescheduled. So I want to not make too many specific promises, but also we'll have so many things for kids to do. And what's really fun too is we set it up right next to the stage, so like parents can kind of hang out in this beautiful setting, be with their kids. Mm-hmm. Austin Area Urban League does an amazing job of working with the kids and engaging them in activities, and we'll have food. And I mean, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Now, I like to dance. Mm-hmm. So I want you to promise right here on the air, will the great promise for American Indians, I know they're going to perform.
Yes.
They'll have some food. They'll perform food.
Yes.
And I want to know, are they going to lead the audience in a dance? Am I going to get a chance to?
That's my understanding. It changes every year. Yes, they will.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, me too.
That would be cool.
And there's also, we'll have a reggae band, System Positive. If you've seen them at the Sahara Lounge, they're really great.
Okay.
I believe Austin Samba is rescheduled, but and then Louis Lafay. And Atash, if you've ever seen Atash, they are a world music band, a gypsy band. The energy of that band is really cool. I watched them in, my husband and I actually saw them play in 1990. 6, 7, and danced our butts off that night. I don't think I've ever been sweatier, actually.
If I'm not dancing unless I sweat out a shirt. I bring backup shirts.
Well, now here's something I absolutely can promise.
What's that?
At some point in the festival, I will be dressed in a very large earth ball that my mother made.
What?
Yes, there will be a large huggable earth walking around campus. And I'm not afraid to make a fool of myself.
No. I wouldn't even say that. I think mascots, I think big caricature costumes. I think there's a place. And honestly, sometimes you can never figure out what's going to scare the kids. So it's never our intention.
They haven't been so far.
but no, I'm excited that you're going to do that.
We'll have a planetarium too, and an instrument petting zoo.
Yeah.
So you can come and explore a whole bunch of instruments. In fact, I think this year we're going to have an accordion, which is really neat. But Straight Music provides a lot of instruments that we can explore and practice playing and all that stuff.
What's the food situation going to be like? Have you invited some food trucks to come out too?
Yes, we could use more at this point because that's
great.
all getting rescheduled too. So, and in fact, especially food trucks, because food trucks have their own permits, so it makes things a lot easier to reschedule.
And we're taking all. So we're looking for Italian ice trucks. Like we'll take everything, right?
We'll eat everything,
especially because the kids are going to be there.
We do. The one thing I request is that folks have a vegetarian or vegan option, just because that's something that's part of the sustainability story. So that's something that we request, and also that compostable products are used. That's also really helpful. If someone needs help with that, then they can reach out to me.
Yeah. First of all, this is a great event. Second of all, because of the reschedule, there are opportunities out there for a lot of people to participate. So I hope they're going to get a chance and they realize that this is their opportunity to come and just be a part of this. Is a great event. If you're not worried about your world, your environment, and your footprint, now would be the time. I'm not going to pick on you too much that you've never thought of it before. But if you're listening now, come out, learn, share, engage. All right. So, Madam Bookout. I love the name, by the way. I don't think I'll ever get to say it enough. What would you say for someone that says, well, I've never been to one of those. I've never done anything in Earth Day. What would you say to a person that's never had any idea to participate in this? I know I said that there are people that have never thought of it, but if you had the chance to address them, how would you draw them in? What would you say? And I know I'm putting you on the spot, but it's just kind of curious because I want to gain some insights that I may not be able to offer.
Well, I think, going back to putting equity at the center of the environmental movement and kind of looking newly at what the environmental, and sustainability really is. I think there's a lot. I don't know that there's anybody who hasn't participated in sustainability in some form. So, for example, my grandmother, she raised 9 kids on a very low income. And, she used to take her containers and rinse them out and reuse them. Those plastic containers you buy stuff at the store with. Yeah. And, she would scrape a peanut butter jar. And I remember one time I scraped a peanut butter jar and I made myself a peanut butter sandwich. And it was like, I thought that peanut butter jar was completely empty. It had all that sort of on the side though. Mm-hmm. And I just was kind of like a meditation. I just scraped the peanut butter jar and I got a whole serving out of it. And I thought about my grandmother and I thought about how she saved everything. And I thought about how she reused everything. And that is sustainability. It's as simple as that. So you are doing it and you belong. And B, there's plenty to discover. And I think that's true for all of us. If we look, I don't care how long if you're like the most preeminent, dominant environmentalist in the state of Texas, there's something for you to learn and discover about other people, about what's possible, about what people are doing to take care of the planet and each other. And most importantly, each other right here at home in Austin. A lot of times we think big, but let's think about here. What's happening here? There's a lot happening here. There are climate refugees. There's displacement. There's the harshness of summer that impact people there. But there's also a lot of good things. There's a lot of new and exciting businesses that people are growing, and there's amazing community advocates that are building new things here that make a difference for people and new relationships. So Yeah, there's something to discover for everyone, I think, whether or not you're an expert or see yourself as a novice to it.
I want to thank you for coming in with us today. I'm going to tell you this. I think some people learned, and if they didn't, how can they reach out, contact, ask more questions? How could they stay informed?
Sure thing. They can go to earthdayaustin.com.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a contact form, and also there's if you wanted to register, there's a button there. You can do that. If you want to volunteer, you can do that. If you want more information about exhibiting, you can do that. Bear with me because I'm updating the website over the next couple of days, so things will change. But we want you there, and we value you.
All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. This was great, and tell the board I was just joking. Don't anyone get mad. They were my words. She sidestepped it a bunch of times. She never said she was the boss. I'm a troublemaker. What can I say?
I don't know.
I set the world on fire.
I think that,
then I walk
I'm not
away.
a big fan of hierarchies anyway.
No,
so.
I agree. I mean, it's always a team effort. Michael Jordan, everyone gives him the greatest of all time, but he had Pippen, he had Rodman, he had some Hall of Famers on his team with him.
Yeah, we're nothing without each other.
You're listening to the Morning Grind, KAZI, and I'm telling you, if you didn't know, now you know. She did a great job. She went a long way to making sure that we gain this information. And I want you guys to take her up on the opportunities. Please come out. Please give it a chance. If you've never participated, now is your time. Get involved. Thank you. Thanks again. Oh, did you have one more little item?
I forgot to mention we will have ASL and SLM interpretation and also Spanish interpretation.
To
walk around the festival with you.
Oh, that's even better. I'm glad we were able to come back with that. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll play a little bit of music and then we'll Morning Grind. We're having some technical issues here. I'm not sure what's going on with the music there, but that's okay. We'll adjust. We'll get around that. We do have a call. Caller, are you there?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, are you there?
Oh, hey. I'm sorry. I blindly grabbed it. I'm gonna give you a little more of an intro, a better intro. Yeah, I'm having some issues here, so it's a little flustered with it all. And don't know there's gremlins in the system. That's the best I can tell you. It's a Friday, and they're not gonna let me enjoy an easy day, and so I'm having some problems. Hey, so what have you ever participated, Mz Marlah, in an Earth Day activity? Were you able to hear the young lady before?
Oh, of course. Earth Day is awesome. You know what I'm saying? The fact that she started the conversation with, Earth Day is all about with equity at the center.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the awesome. That means we are all there. She said belonging. We all belong there. We're sitting on that beautiful campus of HTU.
Yes.
Come on now. You know what I'm saying? We're all there. I mean, that's what a higher educational facility needs to look like in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about loving our environment, you know what I'm saying? Here in Austin alone, the black and the brown have been pushed to a certain side of town, and at one time, the companies and the factories that were there were polluting the air. Our people were exposed to different things. Thank God for Susanna Almanza, who is going to do the opening prayer. She is with the organization PODER. You know what I'm saying? Because they are advocates for that. You know what I'm saying? So can you imagine being your city pushing you to an area, but then your family has to encounter, pollutants in the air where, people getting cancer, they upper respiratory things, so fighting for our environment, you know what I'm saying? That's part of Earth Day, the sustainability. How many people, now I know I done seen people come to work, they done reuse that big old butter plastic container, you know what I'm saying? It's like about recycling. I mean, what she said about, what her mother did, that's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real. So it's like we can all come together and enjoy that, you know, from the interest of sustainability, knowing how to, teaching your children how to, let's start growing our own food, you know what I'm saying? Food, we complain about inflation, but, you know, we have to get back and putting our fingers and hands in that dirt, you know, and making sure that our dirt is not contaminated where we can't even grow our own food to eat, you know? I mean, so yeah, the whole Earth Day is awesome. It's an awesome event, and maybe it was a slight blessing that it got rained out, and it's going to be next weekend. So it's not so much competition going on, you know.
Yeah.
And especially for, like she was saying, you know, for the exhibitors that might not have didn't think that they might be able to get in there. So, you know, now we can have some small business owners or somebody just coming out, you know, with their new truck, food truck or something else has the opportunity to be a part of that wonderful day also.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah.
And
Earth Day ATX is awesome.
Yeah. And I was hoping that some of our listeners, I can't say I was going for the small business. I just wanted anybody, but now I do want the small businesses. I want the mom and pop food truck to get out there to Earth Day and give it a try. I got a fraternity brother that's got a truck. I hope he's listening. He better be listening, but I hope he's listening. And now he sees that there are opportunities to get out and go get it. Y'all better reach out to her.
Right. Sharing with the world. Like one of the restaurants we use for KZI's Christmas party, they actually have a vegan, you know, because we had that at the party. We might have food, we had meat, but we did have a vegan dish because everybody doesn't. And so there are people who will. I know she said, please, if you're going to come, you know, at least have that because everybody doesn't eat meat. You know what I'm saying? So we want to support everybody, you know. Big ups to Tater Q, but we want to, you know, say we want to equity. I love it, you know, belonging. You know, where everybody can feel comfortable. All cultures can come together, you know, because it is our earth, and we do need to learn how to appreciate our earth, how to fight against big companies coming in, contaminating our rivers just because they have, you know, they might have the cars that we might need to go to, but we don't need you to contaminate our earth while you're trying to help us get away from the gasoline with electric cars, you know, not to call out anybody's names or whatever, but, you know, so I know that they're going to have, you know, like the electric bus there so they can quit trying to pollute the air with the buses, although I thought we were supposed to have environmental smart buses, but, you know, I digress.
No, she mentioned it, though. I mean, of course, I made the joke, I want everybody to ride a bike. Listen, everybody can't ride a bike. So that was just the first thing I could think of. So y'all need skateboard. Right. But, no.
But you have a family, and so I love to see that when I see the kids riding and the parents are right behind them. I love when I see that, you know what I'm saying? And so, yes, I mean, that's getting back into shape. That's moving. That's part of wellness. You know, that's why they have the different culture dancing going on so that you can move and dance and get about. You know, so, you know, you might have been joking, but it was still a great suggestion, you know. And UT is at a spot where you can get to it via public transportation. You know, you can drive to it. You know, so it is one of those locations like that where it's a bike path that takes you there.
She was she was ready. She said the red line. I don't ride the bus. I live outside of the city, so I couldn't tell you all of them. But she dropped some stuff on you. She said, "Oh yeah." She said that now, and they still have to update their website, but I don't think it would have changed. But on their website, they had bus 4, 21, 22, and 320 stop within walking distance of the campus. I hope that still is accurate. I don't know why it would have changed. But
that part is accurate. Those are the city buses that go near the campus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, we can get some people over there. That would hopefully I want y'all to know about that. And then, hey, and if you're going, as I mentioned, man, bring a friend. Tell somebody, hey, ride with me. Just for the nostalgic of it, right? To say, I'm going to an Earth. If you go on to Earth Day and you got an empty car, I mean, I ain't mad at you. But maybe put forth an effort, invite a person or two, and don't meet them all over there, and y'all all came up in empty vehicles. It's just for today, just for that day. Because Mz Marlah, you know what happens when people ride with you. Then you gotta have a conversation about what's played on the radio, right? And I think that's why. Is that why we stay solo? I think that's why.
Yeah, you know.
But of all days, maybe that day we can work together.
Great event. Yeah, it is a great event.
And it's free.
And probably because, of course, you know what I'm saying, of course. But even though I guess because I know some of the organizations and people, I know that are going to be a part of it, and so I'm probably a little biased. But, yeah, anybody that speaks on, or organizations that speak on people as a whole coming together, you know, and celebrating. This earth is ours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we need to love it and appreciate it. And, you know, especially for our environment, you know, and we need to talk. We need to get involved with those politicians and check them out. You know, you might have to pull one to the side. So, what we gonna do about this housing?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I know a lot of people be calling in, and they always wanted to say a lot to us. Like Mz Marlah and Dapper D gonna do something. This your chance. Look. You bring that same energy, and because somebody gonna be there. Especially, I'm gonna tell you this: if I find out that some of the other mayoral candidates are not going to be in attendance, you better believe I'm excited about going, because now I get to touch the people. Literally, I am going to be Johnny on the spot, and go ahead and send you a little recorded, but I'm there. Like, it's a benefit. I think of it as a benefit.
I know. I hopefully that they can reschedule also, Mr. Lloyd Doggett. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call out any politicians, but I know he's supposed to be there. So, and that's my thing. You know, someone asked me about city council and what did I think about the city manager. You know, and the main thing is to learn about, like she said, who these people are. You know, when you say, oh, okay, what kind of animal do you like? Because you know what? You want to find out the mentality of how these people think. You know what I'm saying? You want to know who you're putting into that office, and will they be able to represent you and your thoughts? You know, or are they somewhere else in another world, in another anti-DEI land? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to check out who you're going to vote for. You know, so it's good to have those, have to have them there, mingling with the people. That's where they need to be.
Yeah. Mz Marlah, I have a little bit of issues in the station, but the good thing is
you got it.
We made it through. We're here at the end. What
spread some love.
Yes. What we want to know. We want to hear from you. What do you want to say to the people on our way out?
It should be Earth Day for everyone every day. You know, sustainability, protecting our environment. So just like that love you give to yourself and your people, it affects everybody. So don't just think, oh, that's only for them. No, this is for everybody. So spread that love. Spread